Success doesn't come from big moves. It comes from disciplined, boring actions that you do every day. You don't need to keep looking for the next best thing, for more insights, for more information. You just need daily foundational habits that are going to get you to where you want to be by tomorrow. So in this video, I'm going to run you through 5 hacks, 5 habits that I know if you start implementing slowly over time, things are going to change. You're going to be unstoppable. The 5 daily habits that make a man unstoppable. And here are the 5. God, movement, fuel, stress and sleep, connection. I'm going to break these 5 down to help you understand in depth so that you can start implementing at your own will to start seeing changes that I know you want to see in your life. Now, for me, this has been a path that I've recently come back to over the past probably 18 months to nearly 2 years now. Probably 2 years. And to me, I've gone on a bit of a roller coaster. I'm someone that, was brought up in a Catholic family. Then I disappeared for a while. You know, you do your thing, you break some rules. You start to, put people on pedestals and, you start to worship other people, whether or not they're singers, they're artists, they're actors, and you forget about that we're more than just flesh. I started to look at more the universe, meditation, believe that the universe would give me everything that I possibly could ever want. The law of attraction, the law of vibration. And yes, of course, did I study a lot of that stuff over the years. And yes, it still has its place, but I found myself back with God, a higher power. And the reason why I put this as the first thing that I need you to focus on, well, I don't need you to. I believe you need you to do it. It's because you need to step away from the power of oneself. You cannot worship this flesh. And as much as we get one life, as much as this life is special to you, we need to worship something bigger, the higher power that gave us the chance to be where we are today. And to me, that is God. So daily prayer, if it's to connect and just talk to Him, this was all very hard for me for a long time. And doing a video like this, talking about God, would be something I would avoid probably 5-6 years ago at least. And probably even a couple of years ago, wouldn't have done this because I didn't have faith. I didn't believe. I thought I was in control of everything. And that's what mattered the most to me, was having the status, having the significance, being the one that I did this, I got there. But it wasn't the fact, because every time that I kept pushing, I kept doing, something else will keep pushing me back. And over my journey, obviously I've got a big story on this and I don't have time right now to speak about it all, but this guy was always there. And if I wasn't doing so well, yes, he'll be there, but he was the main one in my view that kept pushing me back down, making me feel pain. To see, in my view, the path that I was taking may not be the right path. My decisions that I was making in moments because I was idolizing everyone else around me, people that loved money, people that wanted to push their business and do this, and the wrong values and the wrong focuses, I started to drift down that path. And it put me down areas that, yes, I had a lot of success with, outcomes was phenomenal, but it didn't give me any fulfillment that I actually desired. And only to now, what I'm doing today fulfills me energetically because I'm actually serving an area I want to be in. And to me, it was all thanks to this guy. So I guess you need to do what you need to do. And hey, you might not believe in God, you might believe in another, or you might believe in the universe, or all I'm saying is have a higher power. I believe in God and I wish most people would give this guy a chance, because I had 12 years of running ransom and life wasn't fulfilling at all. Life was actually quite empty, and being empty didn't give me what I truly desired and fulfilled in my life. And At this point, sacrifice is coming now. It's all about putting myself in a position that serves something bigger. I do this for my family. I do this for the future of theirs. I'm in service of something bigger. I want to help more men build their families because we've lost that in society today. I, in a way, feel like the devil has coerced the way life is, and now we're seeing high rates of divorces. We're seeing high rates of single mothers. We're seeing high rates of just children being emotionally destroyed. And the nucleus family has been broken. And all this guy ever wanted to do was make the family wholesome, to bring joy in these families. And I feel connected to help men like you build that back with your wife, with your kids, and with the whole family as a whole. Because I don't want you to be another statistic. I don't want to be another one of those statistics. And I believe that this guy, like he's written in that book, or the people that have written that book over time, have obviously come through with those stories where the man leads. The man brings the family to God. The man serves, loves his wife like God loves the church. The woman serves and supports and guides the man as well, bringing both masculinity and feminine energy together by being connected as one to serve the child, to bring the child up to be the best that they can be so that they can flourish and grow again. So I know that we've spoken a lot about this already and I won't go into too much depth, but I do believe building a connection to a higher power is going to serve you beyond measure. And I might have lost a few followers already by saying all this and dragging, but it's something that's connected to me now. And I really believe that if you have that in your heart, things are going to become so much better in your life. Get away from the flesh and connect to something bigger and better. I'm telling you, it helps. One thing that I always never truly, and I will finish on this with this one, is I tried to control everything. I never had trust in something else or someone else. I wanted to do everything my way. And that level of control kind of put me in a nutshell and kept me from expanding and growing. Or if I was growing, it would be like pushing a truck up a hill. It was when I trusted and said, I don't know how to do this, God. Can you please guide me and help me? That is where I started to open up the doors and started to see opportunities rise. And I know that sounds weird, but it's just my story and a lot of other people's as well. And sometimes you just got to have faith and trust that something higher than you, a bigger power, has got your back when you don't even know what to do next. The second one is movement. Exercise, movement in general, it's got to happen. Bouncing around, skipping, boxing, all these things can build good cardiovascular health, can drain out the lymphatic system. It can regulate the nervous system. There's deeper things than just muscle, fat, bones, and skin. Like what's going on beneath all that? Hormonally as well. Are we functioning? Is everything flowing quite well? Are we highly stressed? These things come into play. So by strength training, by walking, running, skipping, doing something that gets this thing going. I know it looks fucking shit doing this, but lymphatic movements and just get things flowing. Do something that you enjoy so you can repetitively do it. So the body benefits physically so that you're sharper and your mind's ready to go and things are flowing. Okay? Besides God as well, like I said, prayer, meditation, all those things combine into one, and now we've done two. The second one is fuel. I've had a lot of gut health issues all my life. If it's SIBO, Candida, what's the other ones as well? Yeast overgrowth, parasite. Like there's been a whole fair share of things that my gut's been through. The biggest problem that I've faced with the gut is not just the food. The food is one thing that we can repair because a lot of things that we're eating in today is either fucking chemically sprayed, genetically modified, highly processed, the sugar's refined, and like there's too much shit that this body is taking in that it wasn't meant to. And I know we can look at this is bread and this is bread, but how is it made? What are we doing differently compared to 50 to 100 years ago? Even now, we look at France and Italy, they bake bread, flour, water, salt. yeast. That's it. Move on. 4 ingredients at absolute most. You go down to the store, wherever you're from, Australia, Coles, Woolies, I guess America, Costco, wherever it is, big ass supermarkets. Have a look at your ingredient list. When has bread had more than 20 fucking ingredients in it? When? Why does our body need to ingest all of that? Gut health gets destroyed. All these emulsifiers, maltodextrins, numbers, these preservatives and stuff are attacking the inner wall of our gut, chipping away at something that needs to be preserved and strong, because serotonin, one of the chemicals that make us fucking feel good, gets secreted and suppressed out of actually being utilized. And now we're bloated. Our conveyor belt's not working as well. We're irregular shitting, whether or not it's, once, 3 times, 4 times a day, to now it's like once a week, depending on how you are. Like, these things shouldn't be happening. One thing that I've learned, especially with number 4, is stress. If your sympathetic nervous system or your parasympathetic nervous system, which one is actually working, your sympathetic nervous system, which I used to do a lot of because I was so busy, on the go, run and grab food, and because you haven't really stopped thinking about what you've just done, you start to understand pressure at a whole nother level, and you adapt to being under the pump constantly. And because you're under the pump constantly, it feels like the new norm. So the stress load that I was under felt good. So I dealt with stress really well because the pressure made me work harder, made me get more shit done. But I was destroying myself inside. My adrenal glands were through the fucking roof. Organs were flying everywhere. They were still inside. And the conveyor belt, the intestinal wall, the food wasn't being digested properly because the stress hormones were through the roof, and my nervous system was getting shocked because I was more in the sympathetic nervous system rather than the parasympathetic nervous system. So when you look at those two, the parasympathetic is actually the one that is relaxed. Everything's calm. We need to eat sitting down, slowing our breath through the nose, out the mouth, and being present in that moment when we're eating. So we digest that food properly. There's enough hydrochloric acid in the system as well, in the gut, to be able to break it down properly. Everything's smooth. You can't speed up the conveyor belt and expect the one piece of outcome that comes out of your ass is going to be a solid log. It might break down somewhere, it might go too quick, come out faster. These are the things that I dealt with for a long period of time. So we've got to get out of that sympathetic nervous system and come back into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to serve us on a higher level when it comes to fuel and gut health. So the stress, I've already talked about that already, but managing that as well as sleep to recover. The body needs to come back to full recovery so that you can absolutely crush the next day. Getting minimum 7 hours of sleep a night is paramount. I, at times, can still struggle with that one because of certain structures in place and habits that I've still haven't worked on that I need to as well. We're all human, I get that. But as I incorporate these more frequently, which I've done over 10, 12 years, I feel 10 times better than when I first started, before I knew this stuff. And then lastly is connection, family, team, nature. Where can you connect? With your wife, with your kids, extended family, grounding, having a meditation, breath work. What are you doing right now that's connecting you to your world? Now, if you can find balance in these 5 steps and slowly incorporate these over time, and if you feel like you're slipping out occasionally, like I just mentioned with stress and sleep, more so sleep, then I know when I'm not doing so well in that area, I bring it back in. I put a bit more attention on that area, like at the moment, my movement, God, my gut, connection with family is really high right now in my life. My stress and sleep is probably out of 10, maybe a 5. That needs a bit more time. So I'll put a little bit more time into that, where the other 4 or 5 that I've got there are 8s and 9s out of 10s, easy. So because I know that, I can support the areas that I need to support and put a bit of time into areas that I don't put as much time into areas I don't need to. So try these things for the next 90 days and tell me it doesn't help you. Tell me. I guarantee this will increase. This will value your life and you'll become more unstoppable in your world. You feel tired right now. If you feel unmotivated, you don't feel confident, you don't feel like doing fucking anything, just take some discipline action on these areas. Start looking at these areas, rate them out of 10. If you're not doing so well, start putting some time into it. Make it important because it's going to help. If you don't know what you're doing, DM me habits. Communicate with me. There is a link in this video as well. You can actually book in a free masculine rebuild strategy session with me and we can look at this stuff. We can see where you're going wrong, see where we can improve these areas and map out a plan for say 90 days and see how we can educate you on this and get you back on track and keep you accountable to it as well. So if you need some more support, please let me know. I'm happy to help. But besides that, if you like this video, give it a like. If you think someone else needs to hear this message, please send it to them. Just share it out. And if you want more videos like this, please subscribe. Love to have you on the channel. And besides that, you have a fantastic day and hope to speak to you soon. You have a good one.